Hi, everybody. I'm Hector Garcia. I'm CPA and a QuickBooks Pro Advisor. I've been using QuickBooks for over 20 years. And back in 2008, I decided to quit my regular jobs and do this professionally, provide bookkeeping services for small businesses using QuickBooks. I used QuickBooks Desktop back then. Now I use both QuickBooks Desktop and QuickBooks Online. And in this video, I want to talk about a new service called QuickBooks Live Expert Assisted. So I'm going to scroll down to my left navigation bar. I'm going to show you a new option that says Live Experts. When you click on Live Experts, you're going to be given two choices. One, if you're connected to an accountant already, you're only going to be given one choice, which is this $50 a month Expert Assisted. And two, if you're not connected to an accountant, you're also going to be shown a different product called QuickBooks Live Bookkeeping Service, which is Intuit offering bookkeeping services to small businesses. But I want to focus just on this service called QuickBooks Live Expert Assisted. That's $50 a month. Now, there's a lot of chatter in social media, especially by my colleagues or other accountants, CPAs, bookkeepers, tax preparers, that are a little bit, they're showing some discontent around Intuit offering more services and basically moving away from just offering software, but also offering more services to small businesses, because many accountants worry that if the software companies offer more and more and more services and they add more and more AI and maybe they outsource some of their support overseas, what happens is they put downward pressure on the pricing and start commoditizing our professional services quite a bit. And the introduction of this service, that's a $50 a month service, it actually sparked a lot bigger conversation than any other product that I've seen QuickBooks add in the last couple of years. So I want to break down what this is, from my opinion, what I think it could mean for us, for accounting professionals, and where could this be a benefit for small business owners. So the first thing I wanted to do is I literally selected all the text on this page. I welcome for you to do the same. Select all the text from this page, and I copy and pasted it into ChatGPT, and I asked ChatGPT to break it down for me. And the reason why I did that is because ChatGPT is kind of like the average of human thought. So I would say the best average reaction to this could probably come from just copy and pasting it into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to analyze it from the perspective of an accountant. So after I pasted all this text, I gave it this context. I said, I'm a CPA. I work with several clients providing bookkeeping and accounting services, but my services start at $750 a month. Now, of course, this is not apples to apples comparison. I offer professional accounting bookkeeping services. My firm has all sorts of people with different skill levels where we can provide a service that's obviously always going to be much higher than this $50 a month service, but I'm just providing the context for the comparison point, okay? And it's not the same thing. What we do that starts at $750 has nothing to do with what Intuit's going to do for $50 a month. But in either case, I put here, could you tell me all the ways this service could impact my business if my client sees or contracts this offer? So this is ChatGPT's answer. And again, this is not the truth. This is just the average of human thought. So this should be a good proxy for what most people perceive this to be. So the first issue here is price competition, okay? Most immediate impact this would have could be pricing. QuickBooks is offering a significantly lower price, which might attract price-sensitive clients. Clients who perceive their needs to be relatively simple may opt for this cheaper option. In my experience, all clients always want to make the case that their needs are relatively simple because it's their duty to pay the least amount for whatever they're buying as possible. So they're always going to try to make the case. Clients are always going to try to make the point that their stuff is simple, their stuff is straightforward. They already worked on the accounting, so the accountant doing their closing should be pretty simple, et cetera, et cetera. That's an age-old problem that we've had. So this is a really good point that ChatGPT is making, is it might create some price anchoring. Second one is the scope of services. So it says here, QuickBooks Live Expert Assisted focuses on providing guidance and answering questions about bookkeeping and common tax topics. That was a really important one. We go back and look at the verbiage on this. But the whole tax component is what trips a lot of people up, because it's hard to give tax advice without context. And for $50 a month, I'm sure Intuit is not going to take on the responsibility of truly giving tax advice. So there might be a misconception of what tax guidance means from this point of view. However, it explicitly does not include individualized tax guidance, exactly what I was saying, specialized accounting, or business advisory services, which are typically domains of CPAs. Your expertise in these areas, particularly for clients who need comprehensive services, remain a strong competitive advantage. So that's absolutely right. And I think that us, the professional service providers, need to be focusing on the advisory piece, on that personalized service that big companies like Intuit, QuickBooks will never be able to offer. Now, this was really interesting, availability and accessibility. QuickBooks offers services Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific time, which could appeal to some clients desiring consistently and readily available support. This could potentially set a benchmark for client expectations regarding accessibility and response times. This might be one of the toughest things because most accounting firms are open 9 to 5 or something like that. We have a 12-hour span in which people can contact QuickBooks for this specialized support, and they can support both West Coast and East Coast. So something to think about how, again, this could create a benchmark or an anchor as to the expectation that clients have now on us, the accounting firms, having all this coverage. Next one says qualifications and certifications. This service highlights that all the bookkeepers have credentials and certifications, including being a certified QuickBooks Pro Advisor, CPA, or having a related degree. Not a problem in our practice, and probably not a problem in most practices. They will have some sort of certification or degree to back that up. But if your practice doesn't have something like that, or it's not pinned against some standard level of certification, this could raise clients' expectations regarding the qualifications of any financial professional, including CPA. So that would just not be you, but everybody else in your firm if you have a team. So something to think about that too. Then we have technology and integration. Since QuickBooks integrates this service with their software, clients using QuickBooks might find it convenient to have the bookkeeping support that is similarly integrates with the financial software. Now, in today's world, accountants are attached to QuickBooks Online files. Like, we get invited to collaborate with our clients, and the access that we would have would be the same access that anyone, even at Intuit, would have. So that this is not really an issue. It could be perceived as, QuickBooks employees have more access, more control, more tricks up their sleeve that an independent person could otherwise, because they are the same company. That could be part of the perception, but it's not really the reality. But it's important to bring that up. That we have this integration might make it more attractive for clients to prioritize ease of use and direct software support. Maybe. Next one, customization and personalization. While QuickBooks provides a structured service, you might emphasize on a personalized, tailored approach that you can offer as an independent CPA, highlighting your ability to provide strategic advice, deeper financial analysis, and more personalized services can differentiate you from the standard service platform. This is where I think we could benefit as accounting firms, CPAs, bookkeepers. We could benefit from partnering with QuickBooks in one way, shape, or form to use that service. Maybe we could buy it at a discount or something like that. That would be pretty neat. Buy that service and have clients ask the mundane day-to-day questions to the QuickBooks support people. And as long as they don't touch our domain, strategic advice, individual tax advice, deep analysis, as long as they don't touch that, I think there could be a play where we can work in harmony here. Now, here it says strategies to mitigate impact. So it says highlight specialization. So emphasize your expertise in areas not covered by QuickBooks, such as compliance, specialized accounting like GAAP, accruals, strategic financial planning. Absolutely. Leveraging personal relationships. So building a strong relationship with your clients can offer a competitive advantage over a largely online service, right? So this QuickBooks service is not going to be personalized. It'll be very rare that a client will call a second time and get the exact same person that remembers what they talked about the last time. So the personalized portion is one that we independent firms will always have an advantage over. So personal interaction and understanding your client's unique business needs are going to be invaluable. Absolutely right. This is an interesting one. It says adapt pricing and service models. You might consider evaluating your pricing or service models, offering tier services or packages could accommodate different levels of clients' needs and budgets. So I get that. The problem is like me and my firm, my 16-year plus firm, very mature firm, I don't know how for $50 a month we could offer anything. I mean, like, most of my employees get paid, close to $50 an hour with benefits and all that stuff. Once you kind of really calculate the cost of having your team and training them and all that stuff. So like one call will blow up that pricing model, that business model immediately. I think on this particular area, I think Intuit has the exact same problem that we have. I think their employees are going to get paid close to $40 or $50 an hour, again, after benefits and training, idle time, all that stuff. And again, one phone call breaks even, two phone calls, they're already losing money. I think where Intuit is playing is maybe having people pay for it, but only use it a couple of times a year, something like that. Otherwise, they're going to run into the same capacity issues that we independent people would have if we try to create a service just like this. It's a good point to make, though. I think we should always be open to new business models, pricing models, and tiered packages because there's something there. It's hard to think exactly what that's going to look like, but I'm pretty sure there's something there, at least in the midterm. Next one says incorporate technology. So enhance your service delivery option by using and integrating technology that facilitates ease of communication. So we need to make sure we have secure portals, that we have real-time data access, collaborative tools. We do need to up our game in that because if our clients are still calling us and they can't get us on the phone or texting us and we're busy doing something else or emailing us and waiting for the answer and maybe something gets lost through the cracks, it's still going to drive a big wedge because the QuickBooks live expert support is not going to be like that. They're going to be able to call 1-800-QuickBooks or whatever the phone number is, and they should probably get to someone pretty quickly. The last one is educate your clients. Inform your clients about the value and benefits of the comprehensive services you offer. Education on complex financial matters can make your clients appreciate the depth and breadth of our expertise. Now, I would say this is the single biggest opportunity we have in our profession is to educate our clients and teach them the difference between what we do and what the big box companies can do or will be able to do. At first, it would be like a shiny object. They're gonna chase it. They're gonna try it. They might get a little bit disappointed. I think it's important that before they jump ship, go somewhere else, and they get mad at somewhere else, and they come back to you. It's better for you to let them know what to expect without having to badmouth them. Just explain the difference and say, hey, you could try it. And you know what, Mr. Customer? If $50 a month solves all your problem versus the $750 a month you were paying, that's great for you. You somehow figured out how to make an extra $700 a month. And we as advisors should always be happy about our clients figuring out how to save $700 a month. Now, is it realistic that the $50 a month service will be the same thing as a $750 a month service that we're providing? No, it's not realistic at all. But it's not completely implausible. But if your client learns how to do bookkeeping and accounting and just needs a little bit of a boost, but it's just very, very unlikely. Anyway, I know some people watching this video are not CPAs. Maybe you're just a bookkeeper or you have a bookkeeping firm. So I asked the question a little bit different, just so we see if we can get a slightly different answer. I asked, now what if I wasn't a CPA? What if I was an uncredentialed bookkeeper? I mean, not certified by the state or anything like that, but with many years of experience in both QuickBooks and bookkeeping and accounting work. And by the way, I know many of my colleagues don't have a CPA or anything like that, but they're incredible bookkeepers, incredible accountants, and really good at QuickBooks. And they totally have great services to provide, even if they don't have those three letters, which is why I wanted to make sure I added the other side of it to the conversation to not skew, ChatGPT into thinking CPA only. So anyway, and I have a thriving business offering monthly bookkeeping work and support clients in their day-to-day QuickBooks questions as well. Also offering some occasional QuickBooks training services and some basic tax questions. How can this service threaten my business? So here's sort of that second part of the answer. So the first one is price sensitivity. Same thing, just like CPAs. We have a significantly lower anchor at $50 a month that could attract clients that are very, very price sensitive or don't understand the difference between that and what we do. Okay, brand and trust recognition. QuickBooks is a well-recognized brand in accounting and bookkeeping software. Clients might perceive these services offered by QuickBooks directly as more closely integrated to their accounting system, thus, quote, more reliable and efficient. Not sure if that's going to be true, but this is the perception that clients could have, which could sway them towards the QuickBooks offering. Same thing with the hours, right? The same issue with with being open 12 hours a day and independent bookkeepers not being able to have a life if they were able to do something like that. Standardization and scalability. This is interesting. QuickBooks can offer standardized services that are scalable, meaning they can handle many clients efficiently. Now, efficiently, not necessarily effectively, right? Remember, efficient is doing the right thing, and efficiency is doing things right, and effectiveness is doing the right thing. So it's not just about pushing as many clients as possible, answering questions as many as possible. It's about solving the client's problems. I don't think this service is going to be effective at that specific. We independents can do that much better. This industrial scale service provision might challenge smaller individual practitioners who rely on personalized services but may not be able to match the volume or speed of service delivery. It's great, good point there. Then we have marketing and visibility. Intuit, the company behind QuickBooks, has substantial marketing resources to promote its services widely. This visibility could overshadow smaller independent service providers that may not have the budget to reach to compete in the same scale. So this is a really good point, because like we accountants, we can't put a Super Bowl commercial and tell people use our services. Intuit can. So what a lot of us worry is that for a very long time, QuickBooks or Intuit was our partner, our software providing partner, and we didn't mind, about their marketing prowess and their marketing power. Actually, that always benefited us, because the more QuickBooks clients, the more QuickBooks customers came into the QuickBooks ecosystem, the more us, the bookkeepers and accountants who specialize on QuickBooks, had more clients. So their marketing power had always been a net benefit to the entire profession that specialize on partnering with QuickBooks and using QuickBooks products. But now this is kind of the double-edged sword, that now they can use that marketing prowess, that branding that they have, and that visibility they have with their clients to start offering services that could conflict with our services. So this is the interesting pivotal point that we sit in, where we're thinking, where do we go from here? Like, what does our partnership look like? Once Intuit feels like they're competing with us. Anyway, here's some other suggestions by ChatGPT, strategies to compete effectively. So one is personalized service. Again, that personal touch, that personal relationship, that's going to be a key differentiator. Deep expertise and local knowledge. So for us to know about the local market, for us to know about the specific industry that the client is in, for us to understand, the business environment and local regulations, that's something that Intuit QuickBooks won't be able to scale. Us, boots on the ground, independent CPAs, bookkeepers can provide that much better. Then we have flexibility and comprehensive support. So we can offer more flexible options, because they have to limit what they can offer. We can tailor it to meet our client specific needs, which larger services won't be able to match. This could be being available outside business hours, maybe outside their business hours, or providing on-site support if feasible. And this is an interesting change of paradigm here, because like during COVID, we shifted from physically going to our clients' offices to now only working remote and getting clients from all over the world, really. And now, ChatGPT is saying, hey, we could bring the on-site service, the physical, face-to-face contact as a new differentiator. So this service might push us to get back on the road and be at the client's offices, rubbing elbows, so to speak, and doing that sort of thing. Value-added services, you could enhance your service offerings to include more than bookkeeping, in-depth QuickBooks training, advanced reporting, consulting on business processes, that sort of thing. Competitive pricing strategies. This is the part, again, I'm not sure exactly how we can compete price-wise, because their price is just way low. But we can do stuff like bundling services like bookkeeping and tax or something like that, or bookkeeping and consulting, bookkeeping and advisory. I think long-term, QuickBooks training and bookkeeping is going to be completely commoditize, and we would offer those things for free in exchange that the client buys something else, advisory, consulting, in-depth analysis, and then we just make all the other stuff free because they're paying top dollar for the other stuff. That might be a future that we might have to see pretty soon, especially as these things feel like they start getting commoditized. And then we have marketing and community engagement, increase your visibility through target marketing efforts, networking, and community engagement. I think this is just, hey, go local. Start focusing on going local. So I went in there and asked ChatGPT one more thing, which is, okay, thanks. My job is to help accountants, tax preparers, and bookkeepers build solid businesses that differentiate themselves from these type of services to avoid the risk of becoming commoditized, or even worse, my biggest nightmare is becoming Uberized, where companies like Intuit essentially take control over the entire distribution channel or accounting and tax services, and we all become contractors for them. In other words, I want to preserve everything we love about our profession as it stands. With threats like this, globalization and AI, what are we to do to stand out and be seen as more valuable to our small business customers? So here's the suggestions that ChatGPT has, and this stuff is a regurgitation of what we talked about before, but it's a good way to sort of end the video and summarize what we need to do. One is advisory services. We need to provide advice first, bookkeeping, tax later. What is advisory services? If you don't know what that is and you don't know how to offer that, you might need to get educated on this stuff. So strategic planning. So go read a couple books on this, go watch a couple of videos on this, understand what strategic planning is and what it could mean to your client. Financial forecasting, business valuation, consulting on business growth strategies. Okay, you want to position yourself as a strategic partner rather than a service provider. Very, very important piece. Now we have leveraging technology wisely. While technology can be seen as a threat, it also offers tools to enhance service delivery. Use advanced software for analytics, data visualization, real-time financial reporting to provide insights to your clients. This means that you're going to have to learn how to use some third-party apps. That means you're going to have to learn how to use ChatGPT and other AI type of applications. You're going to have to become one with the technology so clients can see you as a professional and an entire profession that's moving forward rather than trying to stay in the past. Then we have personalized and high-touch service. So obviously that personal relationship, that personal one-on-one is going to be a big deal. Continuous education and professional development. We can no longer hang to what we thought was the one thing that we knew how to do very well and the one thing that our clients needed. And the past indicates that we had a very successful practice doing that. Moving forward, we are going to have to learn new skills. We have to learn how to use the technology. We're going to have to become better. We're going to have to become better marketers. We're going to have to educate our clients with workshops, newsletters, webinars. Like we're going to have to become educators and teachers, all of us, to constantly be telling our clients explain to the clients the value we provide, proving to the clients, to small business owners, the value we provide versus allowing big brands to sort of take over. We also need to build a strong brand as individual business owners, service providers, strategic partners, bookkeepers, accountants, whatever we want to call ourselves, our group, the accounting professional group. We need to have a stronger brand. I believe that we all need to rebrand our profession as advisors, not as bean counters, not as transaction data entry people and transaction processing. Like we need to step out of that from a branding perspective, and we need to be rebranded as strategic partners to our clients. And we're going to have to do that with boots on the ground. We're going to have to engage locally with business owners. We're going to have to go to online forums to establish professional groups, network with other professionals. Okay, that's how we're going to be able to establish our reputation as an industry in the field. Then we have ethics and trust. Okay, there's a lot of data breaches, unethical behavior, things that you see in the news. We're going to have to maintain high ethical standards, ensure client confidentiality. Trust is going to continue to be a major factor in the client decision making. They could trust individuals, local, small business owners, small accounting firms. It's much harder to trust the big names. Like generally, people trust QuickBooks because it's a big company, they have a lot to lose. but they can't trust them on a one-on-one level. They can trust the company in big things, but they won't really trust the individual people as much as they can trust accountants and bookkeepers that provide that one-on-one service. Diverse revenue streams is going to be very important. I think we need to start having multiple revenue streams, such as offering CFO services, outsourced financial services, maybe some specialized tax services for a very specific group of people. We have to broaden the different things that we do, but also focus on a particular type of problem or client. Collaborative ecosystems, like we're going to have to build relationships with lawyers, financial advisors, IT professionals. We have to have a network of competent service providers that we recommend to our clients, and they recommend us to their clients. This is always going to be the key, like having strong relationships, not just with the small business owners, with every advisor to that business owner. And finally, solicit feedback from your clients to understand their needs better and assess quality of your service. Is something that I failed at quite a bit at the beginning of my practice, which is to ask for feedback. How are we doing? How can we do better? I think that us as a profession, we might need to become really good at that. So be willing to adapt our business model and what you learn from clients from monitoring industry trends. So focusing on these strategies, accountants, tax preparers, bookkeepers can create a distinctive, resilient business to provide compelling value to our clients, thereby preserving the cherished aspects of their profession in the face of technological and global pressures. So I'm also going to share in the description below an article in the Firm of the Future website, which is an Intuit run newsletter for accountants, where you can see QuickBooks or Intuit's framing on what QuickBooks Live Expert means to the small business owners and the potential opportunity for accounting professionals. As much as I want to tell you that I hate and I dread that my biggest partner in my business in the past 16 years, Intuit QuickBooks, is offering services potentially to my very clients that I'm engaged with, I don't think that just complaining about it over and over and over is going to help our profession move forward. Yeah, in my opinion, shame on you, QuickBooks, for providing services to our clients that potentially compete with us. At the same time, thank you, QuickBooks, for growing your stock from $30-something per stock per share back in 2008 when I started doing this to now over $600. I have to somehow be both. I have to be the professional using QuickBooks, not wanting to have my software provider potentially compete with me, and also understand as a business owner and as a business advisor that this stuff is more revenue to the company, and more revenue to the company means increased value of the enterprise, which means investors, people that own stock like me, get return on the investment. So as an advisor to businesses myself, it would be ill-advised for me to tell Intuit, don't do this. Making more money is a bad thing, and growing the company and growing your revenue is a bad thing. I can't say that. I can't. That this is my job for the last 16 years was to help businesses do that very, very thing. So what do we do? Well, first of all, I won't let something like this define who I am as an accounting professional. I think Intuit can do this. I think other companies that I don't partner with, Xero, Sage, FreshBooks, whatever, if they were to do that too, we kind of have to be prepared for that. I think that our entire profession needs rebranding, and it's going to start with us individually. Like, what are we doing individually to separate ourselves from this? What are we doing as a profession to educate our clients that we are different, that we can do things much effectively that a big company like this can? What are we doing about it? Like, we're just going on social media and blasting into it for doing this. It's not going to help us move forward. You know what? If you're mad about this as much as I was when it first came out, I'm kind of over it now. I think it's okay to vent. I think it's okay to tell Intuit how you feel, especially if you've been using their products for so long, if you've been supporting their products for so long, if you've been moving your clients from spreadsheets into QuickBooks Desktop and from QuickBooks Desktop into QuickBooks Online, if you have been supportive of Intuit for the past decade plus in the whole cloud movement, I totally understand how you would feel that they crossed the line and they're starting to offer live bookkeeping and now expert assisted services that could affect my bookkeeping business and my QuickBooks training business. But what we need to do, and this is a rallying cry that I want to make to all my colleagues, is we got to figure out our own lane. We have to band together and get better at what we do. We need to do our job better. We need to offer better packages, more comprehensive packages. We need to become really good at what we do. We need to specialize in particular industries. We need to work together as accountants, not blame the last accountant or bookkeeper for making a mess like it always happens in our industry. We need to see each other as a support system to help small businesses prosper. We accounting professionals are the true helpers of small businesses. We are the ones that have helped small businesses prosper for many, many years, even before Intuit or QuickBooks ever existed. So our time is to band together and rebrand the profession. It's time to give the human bookkeeper, not the software company, not the faceless big corporation, not the AI, any value. Okay, it's the human. It's the involvement of the human, powered by technology. Is how we're going to be able to win business moving forward. So that was the video. Hopefully that was good context for you. Hopefully you like what I got to say. You like what ChatGPT's got to say. I would love to see in your comments, how do you feel about this? How do you think we can move forward? Any ideas on how I, myself as a leader in this profession, can help make this happen, help rebrand the profession? I have a conference that I put together last year called REFRAME, and it was called Creative Business Models for Accountants. We did it last year in 2023 in Miami. We had like 100 people, and we talked about the business model that we need to change because this stuff was coming. So a year ago, I predicted this type of stuff was going to be coming, and it's going to continue to be coming. So we need to revamp our business models. Now, this year, we have another conference of the same type. It's called REFRAME 2024 now. But the theme is not creative business models. The theme is influential conversations. How, through language, through conversations, through what we say, how we say it, when we say it, and who we say it to, will impact our profession, will help us communicate our value, will help frame what accounting means, reframe what accounting will mean in the future for our small business owners, and make sure we're communicating how we're going to work with small business moving forward. We're going to communicate with each other, with other professionals, how we can work together. And we're going to better communicate with our software companies, letting them know what we need from them, not what they need from us. And we are going to be very, very clear with the software companies, with our partners, that we are the ones that are going to thrive in this game of making small businesses prosper. And we might use your technology or we might not. So if you work and play along with us, if you help us, if you're partners of the accounting industry to help us small businesses prosper, we will use your technology. If you're not and you keep competing with us, we will boycott you and we will go with the technology company that's going to move forward. So anyway, hope you like this video. And again, if you want to learn more about the conference that we have at the end of 2024, in October 2024 in South Florida, I'll put the link in the description as well. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.